Hello, this is a video about ValidEire and it includes two case studies. My name is Lawrence O'Leary. I started this company. I have 12 years behind me working in process validation, both in the pharma and medical devices industries. These include companies as big as Pfizer, Novo Nordisk and Convatec. ValidEire, a new started company here in 2018, has a vision of becoming one of the main consulting companies within the pharma and medical devices. It has a strategy of building itself on its own capital by working on consulting, working from there then with the newest technology and learning as it grows, both by training and by working by e-learning. It will continue to grow. What ValidEire can offer you here and now is consulting services specialized in process validation with special niches in quality assurance and cleaning validation. Does this tickle anything for you? For me, this reminds me a lot of what happens in process validation execution in teams, long-term projects. It reminds me of constant firefighting. Does it do this for you too? Hopping from one challenge to the next, quick fixings, solving symptoms rather than the problems, delays that keep coming again and again. Is the problem really macro vision or the lack of it? Is it responsibility or accountability or the lack of this, which strains leadership? No, the real problem is your competition will outspeed you. Milestones will be broken, quality metrics will not be adhered to, and your employees will disappear as soon as they come. This would both be the full-time and contractors. What are the worst consequences of this? The quality level is not sustained. Patient, at his worst case, does not get his medicine at all, or at least delayed. The project is cancelled. Here are two case studies on the background of what I've experienced in my former career. First one is a sub-project management, where I worked on a company as a contractor, and it was a cleaning validation project that was ongoing but had inadequate progress. Communication was very low between the project management and senior management, and the competences on site were lacking. They were very dependent on external help. Here I came into the picture. After I assisted the customer, multiple CV protocols, cleaning validation protocols were run, and the execution was ongoing. And cleaning validation tracking was being monitored on a daily basis. The full-time employees started getting training cleaning validation, and external help was being phased out as senior management wished, for obvious reasons. What was the process? I went in, I observed legacy practices, I talked to a lot of people, I took my time to learn how it was, the status quo. I made some feedback down to management, which I gave, and they accepted what I proposed. From there I made an action list and implemented it. Now the customer is working with realistic milestones, communication is improved, they have a good baseline with my footprint for future CV execution, and I still have contact with them. Case study 2. This was in a medical devices environment. How was it before? Many were working validation, but scarcely had seen anything about how they should do it, where the rules came, and the actual terminology behind it. It was not seen as a problem in management eyes. GMP level was at a really low level, and QA were really high up in the books of how much work they had to get through, and the motivation was at an all-time low. And of course, by this in turn, that there was a high turnover. After I assisted the customer, 80% were trained in validation and documented that were involved with it. Leadership started prioritizing training, and this got spread across the organization, a global company. The GMP level was controlled subsequent by the FDA. No observations were identified in validation. The turnover has decreased significantly. What is the process? Here I create a gap list against the ISO 13485, FDA's 800 CFR 820, and made a prioritizing list what I thought management should take first. The management accepted this, and the action list was compiled and implemented. A summary of the webinar. A macro picture is always optimal with new eyes. Communication to management is easier as an outsider. It gives the best benefit in my eyes. Once the on-site employees can gain from this, and the sharing of knowledge is optimal. These gains are easily achieved, and with the right metrics can be contained and continuously improved, as is a Reg 3 requirement. What does ValidEire do? It works for you. Tells the truth even if it challenges current leadership and legacy cultures. It performs always with honesty, integrity, and respect for your needs. Next step. When you need a project or your GMP to reach the next bar, when you need assistance with validation projects, complemented with a Lean Six Sigma Green Belt qualifications, when you need someone to train your personnel in process validation, data integrity, and GMP, book a meeting with me on valideire.com or ring on this Danish number 0045 60 47 68 19 or email me on lawrence@valideire.com. Thank you very much for your time.